Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Now, in today's video, guys, I'm going to be doing my first movie review in the new fashion that I have planned for you guys, and I'll explain that in a little bit. But my new movie review is going to be for Scott Derrickson's The Black Phone, but first, of course, I do have a few announcements to make. As you know, in the community post, I announced how the new movie reviews are going to go. They're going to be all for new releases and stuff like that, and I definitely wanted to stop by and make a review for The Black Phone first. And all of the other movies that I missed that, weren't too far from when I got my new plans, like Jurassic World, or, what's another movie I watched recently? Doctor Strange, The Multiverse of Madness, or anything like that. I'm just going to wait to rank in the next tier list at the ending of the year. I don't want to have to backtrack and all that stuff, so I'm just going to be continuing with the flow, whatever you want to call it. Today I'm actually going to be watching the Minions Rise of Gru, so I'll probably review that as well. But I'm going to try to keep the reviews more for, PG-13 rated R movies, just because I'm more interested in that category. But Minions, we'll see how it goes. If I really, really like it, maybe I'll make a review for it or something like that. I know you guys would probably be interested in that, so you know what? I'll probably go with the Minions Rise of Gru review as well, because I know there's some people out there in particular that really, really like Minions and stuff like that. But yeah. As you know, the movie reviews are all going to be for new releases, unless this new release is a sequel to a movie or a prequel to a movie, in which I will do the first release for that movie. I'll do a review for that just to stop by and get that out of the way. But if it is an entire series like Fast and Furious, for example, a big example right there, then I'm going to just review that movie and then make a ranking in the future. And that's pretty much how I'm going to be doing the movie reviews for now. And so, yeah, stay tuned for the future content. Not really sure what exactly I'm going to be doing next. But for Ars Political, I can tell you, I'm going to be making my first commentary video. Hopefully I can get that recorded today. I'm trying to figure out how to avoid getting the copyright claims. I think I've got it situated so that I can avoid that. I'll probably have to put like a disclaimer or something like that in the comment section, or in the description, sorry, to try and avoid that. But don't worry, the first commentary is going to be coming up. I just have to get all the copyright stuff and all that settled. That was the major thing that I needed to get out of the way. I knew I was gonna stumble across that at some point. So, yeah, that's going to be the next thing. Let me move my microphone up closer. I don't know how well you guys can hear me, but I don't want it too close because I know that messes with the audio. That's been messing with the audio lately. But I think that's pretty much all there is to say. Read the community post to stay up to date, and join the Discord. Link is in the About section of the YouTube channel. And I think that's pretty much it. Yeah, let's get on to the review. So, normally with these movie reviews, well, I guess not normally, but now I like to do, the positives, the negatives, and maybe even kind of the mixed feelings I have about the movies. But starting off with this first review, I don't think I can really do that, because I don't think there's really anything bad that I have to say about The Black Phone, but I'm just doing what I normally do. And telling you kind of the plot of the movie for those of you who have not watched it. I'm not going to spoil anything for you, anything like that. But basically, it's about this kid named Finn. He's the main character, and he's going to school. And a lot of the people, not necessarily his friends, but a lot of people he has seen at school start to go missing. And one in particular, who he kind of developed a bond with before he disappeared, who kind of helped him with some stuff. Helped him with bullies that he was struggling with in school and stuff like that. Eventually disappears as well, and then after he disappears, he's the next one on the block, I guess you want to say. And the antagonist, who's called they call him the Grabber in this movie, kidnaps him, and yeah, he basically has to, for the rest of the movie, has to try to figure out and escape this basement that he's put him in, and all these different characters that have already been kidnapped are trying to give him advice and help him escape and everything like that. And his sister, he even has a younger sister as well, who is trying to help him as well, who really cares for him. It's a really, really strong bond between them in this movie and stuff like that. But that pretty much gives you the general idea of this movie. And so, yeah, what do I have good to say about this movie? It is just a really, really solid film. There's not really any negative things about it. I think the main thing to definitely point out here is that this movie has a really, really good tone. It definitely feels like it was taken in the 70s. Now, I can tell just by some of the kid actors that obviously it isn't in the 70s. That kind of distracts me a little bit. Some of the kid actors in this movie don't look like they're from the 70s. They just look like Gen Z or Generation Alpha kids. You can just tell by some of them, they don't really have the 70s hairstyle, or they just have that look that makes them look like the newer generation, and it doesn't make them look like, the older generation. But other than that, the cinematography, and that creepy cinematography and all that really, really helps fit the tone, and I think that Scott Derrickson nailed it pretty well in this movie. Now, I know a lot of people have been talking about how Scott Derrickson, they could feel his tone or whatever, his unique tone in this movie or whatever. I couldn't really. Scott Derrickson, he's directed a few movies that I've known. The main one in particular is Doctor Strange, and I don't think really anything carried over from the first Doctor Strange to this movie that I could tell it was Scott Derrickson or anything like that. So I don't think he's made enough movies or well developed enough or a sophisticated enough director to have his own tone to the movie, but he created a really, really good 70s tone. It felt like a 70s movie, especially with the father in this, the abusive alcoholic father in this movie. That really, really helped with it. As much as hard it was just to watch him be an abusive father, really, really helped with the tone and all that. And another thing that I keep wanting to skip over to the mixed feelings, but I'm gonna try to keep it with a positive, trying to cover all the positive stuff. I really, really like the bond between the young brother and sister in this movie. It felt like they were brother and sister. You could tell they were both struggling. They both were equally struggling with, bullies at school, and they were struggling with their abusive father and everything like that, who in this movie kind of gets a bit of a redemptive arc. He isn't fully redeemed by the end of the movie, but I really like to see that. So I liked that. And I like Ethan Hawke as the grabber in this movie. I really, really liked his performance. He delivered a couple funny moments in this movie, which kind of surprised me, especially towards the end. There's this one little funny scene with his brother, because he has a brother in this movie. And it's just a really, really funny scene. I love it. But there is also a little bit of mixed feelings that I have about that scene, just because I'll talk about it in a little bit. But I think that's pretty much all the positives that I have to say. Overall, now getting into... I don't want to make it seem like I'm concluding this. So, into the mixed feelings. There's only a couple of mixed feelings I have about this. There are a few things that Scott Derrickson could have done a little bit better. And in particular, as I was talking about, I said that Ethan Hawke, the grabber in this movie, did have a brother who's like a cocaine addict or something like that. And he didn't really do much in this movie. It seemed like they tried to bring him into helping Finn escape in this movie, and he just utterly fails. When he tries to, and it just seems like they kind of wasted his character. He has this one little funny scene, as I was saying, and then he immediately gets killed after that. So I thought that was a little bit disappointing, and that was the only on-screen kill that we actually seen this whole movie. The other ones were all off-screen. He just basically kidnapped the kid, and then they're just gone, and all that. So I thought that they could have done, Scott Derrickson, I should say, in particular, could have done a little bit more with the brother in this movie. I realize that this movie is based off of a short story from Stephen King's son, and that definitely does carry over. It definitely feels like a Stephen King movie. I forgot to mention that, but it definitely does feel like a Stephen King movie with how blunt and how do you want to say it, just vulgar some of the languages. That's a main thing that is in Stephen King movies, but also the tone of the movie, everything like that definitely feels like a Stephen King movie, even though it's obviously Stephen King's son, so I guess it just runs down the family, I guess. Another mixed feeling that I have about it is I wish there was, as far as the kill side, it wasn't, I wasn't coming to this movie to, see all kinds of gore and stuff like that. I wish there were a little bit more on-screen kills, maybe a little bit more carnage, as you want to say, with the characters. Maybe he could have killed a few cops in this movie or something like that as he was trying to finally kill Finn or something like that. Just maybe a few more kills here, and maybe the movie could have been a little bit more creepier. This movie wasn't extremely creepy. There were a few jump scares here and there, but there was never a moment in this movie where I was just absolutely terrified. But I think the suspense and the thrill of this kid trying to get out and listening to all these different kids who got kidnapped, listening to their stories and trying to figure out how to escape, I think that more than enough covered up for it. So it's one little thing that I have to throw in there. I just think it could have been a little bit more scary with, adding more kills or, adding more, I'm not saying like a whole bunch of jump scares, but just a little bit more tension and stuff like that. But I think this movie was trying to go more for a thriller, a suspenseful thriller, than it was trying to go for a really, really scary horror movie or anything like that. But overall, I think that's pretty much it. I think that's pretty much it. I don't think there's any more that I have to say. I don't really have any negative, just pure negative things that I have to say about this movie. Overall, a really, really solid horror movie. Not much to complain about. I love the characters. Every character in this movie did a pretty good job, except for maybe that brother. Probably could have done better. But every character in this movie was done really, really well. I think Scott Derrickson did a really, really good job with this movie. And when I saw the trailer for it, I think had the trailer not been as engaging as it was, I don't think I ever would have gone to see this movie. This is one of the rare occasions where I actually step aside and I watch just a miscellaneous horror movie. And this one caught my attention, and I think it was definitely worth it watching this movie. So overall, it paid off, and I believe the score I put on Rotten Tomatoes was a 4 out of 5 stars. So I do this out of 10, as you know, out of 10. So out of 10, I'm probably going to give this movie an 8 out of 10. A solid 8 out of 10 for The Black Phone. Overall, I really enjoy it. And if you just want a random, based off of a short story, horror movie to watch that has kind of that Stephen King 70s tone to it, I definitely recommend you watch this movie. Definitely worth the watch. I don't think you have to watch it in theaters, but if you want to buy it on DVD or you want to wait till it starts streaming or anything like that, I definitely recommend you go ahead and stop by and watch this. So I think that's pretty much it for the review. Stay tuned for the future content that's coming to this channel and also to ours Political. And I think that's pretty much it. Read the community post to stay up to date with any potential future changes. I did have my consultation for the jaw surgery. I still do not have the exact date, but it is going to be coming maybe within the next few weeks, but it is not going to be as bad as I expected it to be. So I'm going to figure out videos to do while I'm down. And yeah, read the community post to stay up to date. Join the Discord, link is in the About section, and that is it. Like and subscribe, guys, and I'll see you next time.